Good morning and welcome back to White Mountains Today here on White Mountain TV 16. Joining me are some elves from the North Pole, A.O. and Aaron. How are you guys today?
Good.
So you traveled all the way down from the North Pole.
We
Took a magical journey back down through, it's about 6,000 miles.
It is. So
Yeah.
but it's a magical journey, so it doesn't take that long.
Doesn't take that
How are
long.
you guys?
Great.
We're great, Rob.
So you are gearing up for the journey to the North Pole.
We are.
You
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. 24 years. This is the
Yes.
24th year for the journey to the North Pole. Let's talk about the origins.
Oh, it's so long ago, I don't even remember how it started.
I know you were just like a lad of...
I was
you know.
just a little elf then. I'm just a little bit bigger now. The origins were 2 or 3 local community members were coming out. It was one of those parking lot conversations. After another meeting, out, talked about, hey, we need to find something for the shoulder season in the fall, which back then, 24 years ago, it was pretty dead here from basically Columbus Day to Christmas almost. Now there's shopping and a bunch of other things. So it was like, hey, what can we do? So I won't go through the whole thing. But anyway, one thing led to another. Hey, we could try this. And we were all book people and had kids that we read books. And so then the Polar Express seemed to be an amazing new book.
Right.
And so we said, hey, can't we make that done? And at that time, Russ Sebo was the general manager of the Conway Scenic, and he talked to his owner's board and said, hey, can we do something? And anyway, one thing led to another, and a bunch of people got together, and we thrashed around, and the Polar Express was born.
Right.
And actually, interestingly, that very first year, it was called Journey to the North Pole, which most people don't know that, because we hadn't quite gotten the rights or the permission to use the title, and then it switched to the Polar Express. That's kind of how it was born, and it was a great success right off the bat. Couldn't keep up with it. We had planned, I think, 2, maybe 3 trips that first year, and ended up with 5 because...
Only 5?
Only 5.
That's amazing.
People were just
Wow.
kept calling at the last minute, can't, more. Anyway, so here we are 24 years later.
And it's evolved over the years. And so there's more than 5 trips this year, and there's more than one location.
That's right.
This year, and it is it's still an incredible event, and the fact that you have people who are now bringing their own children who went on the train 24 years ago as little kids, and it's an amazing experience. So it starts this Friday.
It does.
Starts this Friday, day after Thanksgiving, in both of our locations, and we also have volunteers, I believe, that might be children of volunteers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Guarantee that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely becoming a family tradition, evolutionary thing, and you do say it changes every year. I don't know if you did say that. It does change I mean, there are little things that we improve and embellish on every year, and this year will be no exception, and I'm not sure really exactly what that is.
Keep it a secret.
Yeah, I
It's a
wouldn't want to
surprise.
be telling everybody what the deal is.
So you have trains both in North Conway, leaving from the North Conway train station right here in the center of North Conway Village, plus also Lincoln, and so
with the Hobo Railroad in Lincoln. And,
2 different options.
2 different options. And they're, we basically do the same show in the theater. The physical setting outside is a little different, but basically everybody gets the same. There's no bad seat in the house.
I believe it. Oh, I know it actually. Well, the other thing I want to bring up, and this is actually very exciting news, is the fact that over the years sometimes it was very difficult to be able to book a journey on the train. But that is this year, because of the number of trains and everything else, you've got some available. So Aaron, why don't you tell us about that?
We do. We do have tickets available in both of our locations. Saturdays are obviously the most coveted date, so those are quickly selling out. There might still be some left in Lincoln, but we do still have Fridays and Sundays available in both. And you can go right to our website and buy them right online.
And it's so awesome to be able to have that option now, because unfortunately there were times when people were very discouraged when it came to this point.
Yes.
And now that option is available.
We've added a lot of trains. We have 32 shows in North Conway and slightly less in Lincoln, but Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
And 2 shows a night, so you have a
Yes.
morning or so 4:30 and
Boarding at 4, boarding at
6:30.
6:30
Okay.
Yes.
every night.
and so really it gives people some great options, so they can do the early and then do whatever they want after, or
Yep.
vice versa, and,
Exactly.
and switch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. One of the things I want to bring up, Rob, is that all of this, the journey to the North Pole, as amazing as it is, and it is, known as Polar Express for a number of years, and now we've changed back. The experience is basically the same, except better every year, is a fundraiser for
Right.
the Believe in Books Literacy Foundation. And so everybody that buys a ticket or gets involved as a volunteer or as a sponsor, we're trying to raise more funds for our literacy programs. And that really is what it's all about. I mean, we love to have fun and have an amazing journey for everybody, but they're all helping and part of, and it's hard to understand sometimes, that this is really about our literacy programs and funding them so that we can go out all over the North Country and get some books and some book bags and some books from birth and all our different programs. And this is our biggest fundraiser and our most extensive. But it's all about getting youngsters excited about bringing books to life, getting the brain cells going.
Absolutely. And so
Sorry, I didn't mean to get so serious.
no, because that's what it is all about, especially in this day and age where books are put aside in terms of electronics. So encouraging kids to read, and the Books from Birth program, I just think that is the neatest thing in the world. Where basically, how many books do they get from that?
Well, I think so. They get a book bag at birth at the hospitals that we worked with, and not a book bag, but a little pouch with a startup book,
Yeah.
chewy book or something. And then if the parent chooses to be part of the program, it's all free. Most of our programs are free.
Right.
We then mail them, that new child, a new book every developmental period. So 3, 6, 9, up to 18 months, every 3 months. And then it's every year, I think, or 8, I don't know, I'm not sure about
Exciting.
until age 5. So there's, I think, about 12 what is considered developmental, segments or periods. So they get 12 books over the course of 5 years.
That's unbelievable. I mean, it's so much fun, and I can just imagine, the kind of the excitement of getting it's a new book addressed to me.
Yeah.
I'm 4 years old, and you're getting a book in the mail,
Yeah.
and being able to hopefully sit down and read that book. So, how many books do you think over the years? Did you count, Aaron? Have you counted all the books?
Oh, I don't have enough fingers.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it's
think we tried to put a number on
We did.
an annual number or something, but we probably distribute, so kind of a wild guess. I'm thinking it was about 13 or 15,000 books a year,
yeah.
something like that.
Unbelievable.
A year, every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
it's
then-
been going on for 24 years.
And it
Yeah,
grows
and
every
new
year.
last year was, this past cycle, was our bookmobile actually came into being.
Yeah.
And that recycles used books. And this last summer we were out at 15 or 17 places, I don't know.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5.
Anyway, we went out
Yeah.
weekly with the bookmobile, spread out books, and people came in. It was great.
I don't know. Hans is talking in the background here. We're looking at the photos
It's okay.
of the journey to the North Pole. But it's a fundraiser for the Believe in Books Literacy Foundation. And of course, you have other events that go on all throughout the year
do.
at the Theater in the Wood
Yep.
in Bartlett. You had one last night.
Had
And
one
of course,
last
you have plenty of things going on. Plus, will there be skiing this year? Or there'll be.
If we get snow, there will be.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, our trail system is about 10K, and we did lose more this last flood, or a year ago flood, and
Right.
then again, we just had another flood, whatever that was, a couple of weeks ago. But we've resurrected most of the damage so that there will be skiing.
And what a fun way to do it. Plus, you have the book journey, or I'm sorry for
Storybook,
The
Storybook
Storybook
Trail.
Trail,
storybook
yes.
trails, plural,
All
because we
three
do
of us.
have
We
a
have
couple
multiple,
actually.
yeah. Well, We have a maple
sometimes.
sugaring one, and
That's
then,
right.
and then we have our year-round one
Right.
that we change that book on that every week. So
Every
there's a
week.
new one every
a
week.
new
That's
book.
very cool. And you do have the Sugar House in the spring.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
And so I imagine that you're probably looking for some volunteers.
We are always. You could wear these fun outfits that
Right,
we
that's
have
what
on
these
here.
are. I mean, I do wear this most of the time, but
He does.
Middle of the summer, there's AO.
Yeah.
Oh, you can-
Yeah, so we have a few volunteer opportunities. Same in both locations. So you can be a chef on board the train where you get to greet our guests, serve them hot cocoa, our exclusive candy that we have on board, and just have a lot of fun with them, sing Christmas carols and all that. Or you can be an elf at the North
who
Pole.
would not want to be like this?
You greet our guests when they get off the train, escort them up to Santa's Workshop where they get to go in and see the show. The elves are a part of the show
Yes, they
on
are.
stage. They have a lot of fun. It's a great way to get all your friends together and just have a good time. And the kids that come on this journey are so excited. And it's so much fun to watch them just.
It is.
Oh, absolutely. And I have been involved now for 11 years.
You have.
And being able, I encourage people, either being a chef or being an elf, and people are like, well, I don't have the time. Just do it.
Try it.
And if you do it with family or you do it with friends, it's an incredible experience. I've never talked to anybody afterwards and they're like, oh yeah, that was a waste of my time. No, it is so much fun and they can't wait to come back.
Yeah.
And the energy, it's really something. So I encourage everybody to be on the train, be at the North Pole.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of opportunities, and it's very flexible too. It's
It
not
is.
one of those things that you're committing, to 32 nights
Oh,
of
yeah,
stuff.
no, definitely not. You can come for one night if you want to. And then if you want to come again, you can come again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a great experience. So definitely. And so how does somebody become a volunteer?
They can go right to our website, journeytothenorthpole.org. There is an option on there to sign up for either Lincoln or North Conway. You can do it all online.
And it's very easy, and the process, and there's pizza, and
There is pizza, yes.
no, but a great opportunity. So please, I encourage everybody to do that because I know from personal experience that it is so much fun, and talking with the elves and the chefs, and everybody has such a great time.
Yeah.
So I hope that everybody will do that, and you'll have plenty of volunteers.
Yes.
It does become a family and friends event, as you well know.
Right. And the fact, and then you see people, you might only see them once a year, but it's
Yep.
a great experience. So
Yeah.
definitely encourage that. And if you're looking for tickets, still
Journeytothenorthpole.org. It's all right there
Everything's there. And
Right.
I believe you can do all that
from your phone.
from your phone also.
wow,
Yeah, we're wicked, current in the tech world up at the North Pole.
you're right there. And there's plenty of other events that will always be going on throughout the year at the Bleeding Books Literacy Foundation and the
Yeah.
Theater in the Woods. So definitely check those out.
Yes.
So you send out newsletters, don't you?
We do.
Send out
Bi-weekly
We have a
newsletters.
blog. We have.
Yeah.
Well, we've got
I know
everything.
I get them. So
Facebook.
Yeah.
Go on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're I mean, you have to understand that the elves, Santa's helpers at the North Pole, created a magical train years ago.
right.
So we are at the top of the tech world. Just saying.
Well, Aaron and Ao, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming by, and of course we'll see you soon. And definitely check out all of that. Go to believeinbooks.org.
Yes.
Thank
and
you.
back here in a minute on White Mountains Today.